What's up, resellers? I'm Rebecca, and you're watching Rebecca the Reseller. Thanks for joining me today for another episode of Reseller Life! Exclamation point. Hope you're all doing well. Thanks for joining. Today I have Deanna here, and I'm so excited to chat with her. Hey, how are you?
Hi.
Go ahead. Good. Go ahead and just let everyone know where they can find you and your handles. And that way, they have that information. We'll do it again at the end. We'll go through some questions after that so they know kind of what your reseller status is. And then we'll chat about your day.
Okay. On Instagram, I am at Deanna.online, and Poshmark Closet is the same name. Actually without the dot, Deanna Online.
Okay.
I don't know. Instagram is really the main social that I do, and I sell
Yes.
on Poshmark, Mercari, eBay, Facebook, and Kidizen now.
Oh, and Kidizen now. Okay, awesome. Yeah, because I know you're a dabbler like I am. You dabble in a lot of other things.
Yeah.
So as far as your reseller status goes, would you consider yourself a full-time reseller, part-time reseller, complicated? What are you calling yourself?
Complicated. Yeah, I would consider it part-time for sure. I am a full-time freelance writer. And so since that pays the majority of my bills, I consider that my full-time job. But I do spend quite a bit of time reselling. And so it's just something that I love to do. And it's great extra money.
Yes, awesome. That's great. I love that. Okay, and so how long have you been reselling?
About 3 years.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Not too long. Awesome. And what platforms do you sell? And you just kind of mentioned it. So Poshmark.
Yeah,
eBay.
I would say for sure my main platform is Poshmark. That's where I make the majority of my sales.
Okay.
I do cross list everything to Mercari and eBay and Facebook Marketplace, especially now that it was recently added to Vendoo. I use Vendoo to cross post. So, and then I just recently opened a Kidizen account. I just barely put a couple of listings up there so far.
Cool.
So
Are you liking it?
I like it. It's pretty cute. I haven't made any sales there yet, but I've only got maybe 20 listings up there so far. So
And are you just doing kids stuff on there?
So I've got some kids stuff up there, and then I have some mama clothes, but I'm trying to go for I'm not posting everything over there.
Okay.
I'm doing a lot of maternity stuff, and then a lot of comfy mom clothes and
cool. That's
that.
a good idea. Yeah, I mean, it's been a long time since I've been on Kidizen, because when I started, I was Totspot, and then Totspot was only kids, and it got bought out by Poshmark when Poshmark brought on kids as a category. And so when I was doing Totspot, it was Totspot and Kidizen that I would do. And that's all I did. I didn't do any women's anything or anything like that. So it's just so funny because it's been a long time since I've been on Kidizen. But it was very cute. And I always felt like the stuff that I had was not near cute enough. Then I started getting a complex about what I dressed Geo in, because I'm like, T? What is T? What is, I don't even know. There's so many names of all these super duper preppy kids clothes. I'm like, she doesn't wear that.
Yeah, I'm not. My children are grown, so they're teenagers now. So I'm not in the kids' clothing world, but a lot of times when I was outsourcing, I would see really cute stuff, especially at garage sales and stuff. I would see perfect little vintage, cute throwback outfits, and I would pass them by because I just don't specialize in kids' clothes.
Yeah.
But now I can pick them up and I can put them on there.
That's great. That's good. Okay, cool. And then are you solo or do you have helpers?
Yep. Just me.
Solo. Okay. And social media. Yeah. Your social media status, you're on Instagram. You don't have YouTube.
No.
No. Okay. So Instagram.
Yeah, I'm not too much on the videos. I'll do other people's shows and stuff, and I do an Instagram live show on Thursday nights.
Right.
But it's not live, video is not my favorite format.
And it's funny because I always assumed resellers are resellers and everybody's everywhere. And then the more that I do it, the more I realize that no, not there's tons of people on Instagram that just don't watch anything on YouTube, don't do anything on YouTube, don't put out content, don't consume content at all. That's just not their thing. They just like popping in on Instagram and dealing with that. And then vice versa. It's really very interesting because for a long time, I just always thought it was all the same because I do both, but everybody's different. The more I do content in general, the more I learn. Everybody's so different. And so your family status, you kind of mentioned, you're married, kids, you said you had older kids.
Yep. Yeah, I have 2 teenage sons. They're 14 and 16. They just had
14 and
birthdays.
oh, okay. Oh, wow, nice. And then what is your business location like? Everything's at home, you have a storage unit, warehouse thing?
Everything's at home. I do have so the room I'm sitting in right now is my office, and it's a pretty big room.
Yeah.
There's plenty of room to do the photography. I keep some of my stuff in here. I do all my shipping in here. And this is also where I do all my writing. And then I keep all the inventory in the basement.
Okay.
Getting close to that area where I might need to have offsite storage, but
cool. It's
yeah,
exciting.
my husband's helping out. He just put up some shelves for me so I can keep everything at home a little bit longer.
How many items do you have, and what do you think like your capacity then is, seeing that it's coming close to it? What do you think?
I think I have, if I add up things, I think I have a little over 300 things that are listed.
Okay.
I probably have that many things or more that aren't listed yet.
Okay.
So, and I'm pretty close to being at capacity. So
like 500-600, in and around there. And I think that makes sense, because I was trying to, when I brought everything home, I had a storage unit. Then during the pandemic, I brought everything home because I didn't know what was going on with anything. So I put it in the garage, but I'm in Orlando. So it's like my time of having things in the garage now is coming to an end. So I just got the storage unit back again, because I thought I could probably get to about 1,000 with the garage / shoving it in all the different places, but it wasn't the greatest. So I am happy to have the storage unit. And I don't know for you, but like once you put it off site and it's not all in your face all the time, it is kind of nice. There's some drawbacks, but like it is kind of nice not to have it like all the time.
I recently had all the unlisted stuff in the office with me.
That'll get you.
Yeah, I wanted easy access to it. I wanted to be reminded that I had all the stuff to list, but it was getting quite large, and it was overwhelming, and it was taking up a lot of the space. And I know a friend of mine, they had got some advice that was, to take it all, put it in a different room, and have it organized, and then just take out the one bin or box of things that you're working on at a time.
Right.
So that's what I'm doing right now, and it's got me feeling more relaxed,
better,
more calm.
That's good. That's good. No, I think that's good. Okay, so those were just kind of like the general quick questions, so everybody gets a feel for kind of your operation. So now let's talk a little bit about the topic. So a day in your life, and whether that looks the same every day or different every day. So you wake up, it's whatever day. What are you doing?
Well, so like everybody else, it's a little different in the last year because of the pandemic and everything.
Right.
My kids my husband has been working from home for the last year, and both my kids have been doing virtual learning this whole last year. So our schools just reopened recently.
Okay.
Ours were closed for quite a while. We live in a large city that has a high population, so things were locked down here a little bit longer than some other areas. Our schools are open now, but you can choose to keep the kids at home, and we chose to keep ours home for the rest of the year.
Okay.
So a little bit different because everybody is here. Usually I'm here all by myself.
Right.
And it's super relaxing to work from home and, have everyone be at school and at work. But basically I get up in the morning and I check all my emails and messages. I have clients that I write for that live in other countries. So sometimes it's nighttime, days and nights are different. So they will often message me at night. So I have those waiting for me in the morning. And I usually do the first couple hours of writing, and then mid-afternoonish, when I get the best lighting, is when I start working on Poshmark for a few hours, doing photography. I've kind of been working in batches recently. So on days, my lighting is horrible in my office. So on days when I have blessed with some extra help from outside lighting, I try to take as many photos as possible and have that stuff ready to list throughout the week.
Gotcha.
So I do that. And then when the lighting starts going away again, I go back and finish my writing assignments for the day.
Okay. And you have daily, like that's your full time, like you write every day, you have writing work to do. It's not a part-time when you want to thing. I don't know what that's for.
Right. No, it's my full-time job. So
Gotcha.
I have a long list of clients. I got like 1, 2, 3, 4. I've got 5 articles that are due today, one of which I already did.
Okay. It's like, wow. Okay.
Yeah, it's it's a lot. And
interesting. And can you say like what kind, like, is it for blogs? Is it a certain niche? Is it like, can you just, I'm just curious.
Yep. I mostly write blog articles for e-commerce businesses and also what do you want to call them? Not influencers, but people who are like coaches and teachers of their crafts. Like right now I'm writing a course on public speaking.
For someone else to present.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. So she will give me all of her notes, all of her ideas, all the things she wants, but she just needs help putting it all together and making it interesting, keeping people. Yeah. So I'm doing that right now. I do some web content, but I like the blog articles better. I like kind of a story, conversational type tone better.
Right.
I do like writing the courses, lead magnets, and things like that.
That is the coolest thing, you know. It's like, I love talking to, I love these conversations because we're not, I mean, there's a few probably that I've talked to that are just straight up resellers and that makes them happy for whatever reason. And then I think there's people, you know, where the reselling is the afterthought, but they like doing it, but it's just kind of like a side hustle, but they'd be perfectly happy, you know, if you said, I'll give you side hustle money for moving this box over here to that. Like there's no draw into the reselling. They just do it because it's what they happened into. And then there's people that love the fashion. And there's people like me where it's like reselling got me into online business, but now I kind of, you know, it's no secret. Like, I always like the other stuff better than the actual I don't know what's wrong with me. It's like, I enjoy all this other, because I don't know, I guess reselling, it just can get so repetitive, you know, and I think that's where people get their motivation issues and stuff like that, because you need to be able to really like self-motivate and keep yourself accountable with in some way. Like I know you love doing challenges, like I've seen you post like different challenges and things like that. So you know, have to find ways to kind of give yourself some deadlines, because otherwise it's like, you know, I have all these clothes to list today, or I could do it tomorrow or whatever.
Oh yeah. And I got into online sourcing for the reselling.
Yeah.
And when you do that, you tend to buy in larger quantities.
Right.
So that's how I ended up, you know, my first couple of years as a reseller, I never carried a death pile.
Yeah.
I never had unlisted inventory just
right, because you were picking by hand.
Yeah, I was picking by hand. I'd get 15 items. I would list those 15 items before I went and source more. But now that I'm ordering online and I'm getting in bulk,
I saw you had like a giant box of leggings or something you were excited about the other day.
Yeah, awesome. Wholesale companies, liquidation companies, and things like that. So yeah, I'm getting things in larger quantities. So that's why I'm building up kind of an unlisted pile, money pile, whatever you want to call it.
Right. Okay. So sorry, and I love going off on these tangents and stuff, but then I want to try to bring it back to the day too. So you get up, you're checking everything, you're dealing with your writing clients, and then you're in the afternoon now, and you're doing your Poshmark stuff, and you know, how does social media factor into that? And then what kind of happens, you know, after that Poshmark time in the afternoon?
The social media, I try to fit. I have actually been easing back a little bit on Instagram the last couple of weeks, just because, excuse me, I took a short vacation.
Bless you.
Thank you. I took a short vacation, and when I came back, it was like my writing client, they were all waiting for me. They had a bunch of stuff. So I've been really busy. Right. And I just wanted to give myself, you know, more time to get caught up on work, because typically I was posting 3 times a day at least on Instagram, plus doing all this engagement.
Right.
I had a real push for a while because I was trying to get to 10,000 followers, and I like goals, you know. Then once I get to the goal, I'm like, I'm done now, you know. Like,
I kind of stopped pushing after 10 too.
Yeah,
and
I don't feel
it's not till I say like, okay, Rebecca, you need to do 3 a day or one or whatever you decide. But yeah, I pushed till 10 and then I kind of backed off.
Yeah. So I'm not spending as much time on Instagram as I was, just because of that. But I will try to post something in the morning and something in the afternoon. But and I use it a lot for connecting with people. I have like group chats going on. We talk throughout the day because I love being self-employed, but you miss having coworkers too. So, and the friendships are part of what keeps you going.
I agree. I never really kept a lot of outside of the office friends because my friendships inside the office were so like involved, because you're spending so much time with these people that I never really like, I don't need any other friends. These people I can only keep up with so many people. Like the work people are fine. I don't need anybody else. But now I don't have those jokers anymore. So yeah, I mean, it is nice to be able to make the connections within the reseller community. And it's nice too, because like we've talked before, you come on when I had Momversations, the interview show I did before. And it's nice to be able, like, you don't need to be so involved in each other's life when it's an internet friend, like, because I see what you're doing. So like, I kind of know what's going on in your world a little bit, and then you can just pop in and out.
Yeah, it's great. So I'm not letting that take as much time out of my day as I was. And I've been trying to, deadlines are, they're like a moving thing. And some weeks I'll have a lot and some weeks I only have a few. And so there are times when this gets messed up, but normally I try to stop working by 5.
Oh, great.
Because I want to make dinner and, do things with the kids after school and things like that.
Yeah.
I'll go back and work. Like if everyone else is busy and no one has time for me, then I'll come, maybe I'll drift back over to work or things like that throughout the evening. But I try to stop by 5 o'clock so that I can have family time. And
that's good. That's good. I feel like for me, because I'm not quite at the financial goals or like the business goals that I have for myself, that I feel like it's harder for me at this point in time to say, okay, I'll just take the day off. I kind of will be like, okay, I'm in more of a reseller mood. No, I'm in more of a creative mood. And you do print on demand too, right? So we've talked about that before, where, we're designing our shirts or whatever it is, mugs or whatever. And, so that's this kind of brain mood that you're in. And then today's more of a this kind of brain mood or whatever. So it's nice when you have a few irons in the fire and you can take the one day off of one, but you're still being productive by working on another part of your business.
Right. Yeah. And that's what's great with reselling, because I can, if I have like a week where I'm, exceptionally busy with deadlines, then I just don't get as much reselling done during that week. And that's okay, because there's nobody waiting for me. There's nobody like, they can't post to their blog if I don't get to the work, so
it's completely self-directed. So
more flexible.
I think that's I don't know, I might do a live on that, because I've been thinking about it more of like, I know I'm working too much. and so but it's hard when you're an ambitious person and you work for yourself and there's no one else helping you. It's either you do it all or you don't. But you keep adding things maybe to your long to-do list or whatever. So I need to do more of like, because you can design reselling around your life. So what are the things that I want to put in my life that are personal, that I can design the business around it? Because I've recently just gotten Gio off to full-time school, because the last time we talked, he wasn't. And so it was like daydreaming of all the people that had from 9 to 3 every day and all that I could get done with that time. Now I have it and I filled it all up.
Right.
I'm like, I need to stop filling it up and have a little, little person, like read a book or something. I haven't read a book in a long time.
Yeah. I've been making more time for stuff like that, and I'll actually put it in my schedule. Like I'll write in that I'm going to be spending 30 minutes reading my book today, or I'm going to be,
that's good.
Whatever other hobbies that I have, because if I don't, I won't do it. And I do tend to work on weekends. That is has to do with like the nature of like the deadlines and when things are due for the writing. And plus it's a good time to get caught up if I'm behind on any deadline. So I tend to work on weekends. I try to take Sundays off if I can, but I can't always. So I would like to get to the point where I'm having more of my weekends free.
Yeah, I'm
So
trying to make Sunday the off day, and then Saturday is gonna be like the buffer work day. So all the things that
mhm,
needed to get done that didn't get done, I can just kind of dump them then, if they didn't get done on Monday, all right, I'm not gonna put it to Tuesday because Tuesday's got its own list. So I'll
right.
dump it then onto Saturday. See how
Yeah,
that goes.
that's pretty much what I'm doing. And I use the Saturdays to get caught up on the larger projects that
Yeah. So now
need.
with your Poshmark, are you all kinds of things? Is there a particular, types of clothing that you sell or anything that you focus on, or just whatever?
You know, I, a little bit of a focus just because like I don't do men's clothes.
Okay.
I typically don't do kids clothes except for the cute
Right.
stuff I've been finding I'm putting on Kitizen.
Right.
With the cross-listing platform, it's easy to just put everything everywhere.
Right.
But by design, I'm only really focusing on women's clothes.
Right.
Not specifically going for a specific style, although I try to pay attention if there's something that's trending and I happen to see it, I'll pick it up.
Hmm.
Um, things like that. But I'm not. You said that it's interesting. People get into the reselling for different things, and some people are super into fashion. They know all the brands, and they
That's
know
not
that
us.
that is not. I I'm more of I'm into reselling as a seller and as a buyer because I'm cheap, not
Right.
because
There you go.
not because I want like Kate Spade everything in my house.
Right.
No,
Right.
that does not interest me. I'm more interested in getting good deals or some of the slightly nicer, trendier items, but at a good price,
Right.
rather than filling my closet with like luxury brands and things like that. You're not going
Right.
to find, $800 shoes and purses in my Poshmark
Yeah.
closet.
Well, I mean, and this year, I think I posted about it a little bit. I decided since we were staying home and I wasn't going anywhere and all I was in was leggings and whatever, that I was going to, I'm a reseller and I'm going to upgrade my entire wardrobe from all the Walmart stuff that I had bought before. And I'm just slowly going to add Lululemon pieces because if I'm going to be in this all day, I might as well like feel good, feel like I'm putting on something expensive. So like I'm in head to toe Lululemon today. I'm like pretty good. Like I've gotten most of the what is it, Athletech or whatever, Athletic
Uh-huh.
Works, whatever the Walmart brand is that I did have. I've slowly gotten those out. I sent them the thread up in a partner kit. And, and now I've got this. So like that, it makes me feel good. I feel like, all right, I'm not, because I won't sleep in it either. Before,
Mhm.
I would sleep in it, then I'd wake up the next day. It's like, how many days did I have this on for? I don't even know if it's Tuesday. Was this on since yes? Like, I don't know anymore. So I'm like, at least I put on, this is now my new reseller mom uniform. This is what I wear now.
Yeah.
So I have been splurging a little bit on that. But I mean, in the grand scheme of like things you could spend your money on or like how much it should cost, at retail, obviously it's a steal, but I haven't been to the bins in over a year. So I'm definitely not getting that kind of price, that we would all like, where you're paying like $1 for something, but
Yeah, and I don't remember where you are located, but
Orlando.
okay,
Yeah.
I'm in the Midwest, and I'm in like pretty much the exact middle of the country in St. Louis. And there is no good trendy designer clothes at our bins. There's no
Gotcha.
good designer trendy clothes at our thrift stores.
Yeah.
Um, People around here just don't care about those clothes. They don't own them, so
Right.
therefore they don't end up in the thrift store.
Right.
So I don't really have access to that kind of stuff at good prices. I get so jealous watching some people's like bins where they're like finding like, free people at the bins. I can't even find
Yes.
free people in our regular thrift store,
Right.
let alone the bins.
Right.
So, and actually, doing the online sourcing and the mystery boxes and things like that has gotten me a lot more brands that I just don't have access to,
That's
locally.
what I that's what I think is kind of like, I know it's been a terrible, last year for a lot of people for so many reasons. And we're lucky because we've been able to make money at home. We found our,
Mhm.
pivoting ways, and, we've been able to make it through as resellers, which is it, I'm so grateful for that. And there's obviously been a lot of, turmoil and heartache for so many. But it forced us to look at these different ways to source that maybe we wouldn't have before.
Mhm.
And I think, I mean, for me, I will pop into I've been vaccinated. I've got my full vaccinate. Like I can go to the bins right now, you know, and I probably will get up the nerve to go, but I'm still like, oh, but I will probably go soon just for the fun of it. But it's so nice and such a weight is off of my shoulders to say, I'd like to go to the bins for the fun, just to see what I find instead of I've got to go and find 50 pieces so I can come home and list everything this week. It was a lot of pressure before. You never knew what you would find. And we didn't, you know, Orlando bins, we have two, the one that I would go to, you don't really find free people in plethora. I mean, I never found Everlane until I ordered online this year. You know, there's a lot of, you know, it's not, we don't have a lot of that either. I mean, I think we find good, consistent bread and butter things. And so you'll find new tags things, you'll find good, consistent bread and butter at the bins. And so you can kind of go off of that. And every once in a while, you'll find something great. But it's never consistent enough that I feel like the only reason why my business, as far as reselling goes, has done better is because of the pandemic, and that I was forced to go online and figure out new ways. And if I'm going to order something, no, I'm not going to order Banana Republic because I know I could get that regular. I'm going to go and try to figure out how I can get, you know, Eskandar or something like that and see, you know, how I can stock my closet with better stuff. So I really feel like going online and trying to get out of your comfort zone that way, even if it does cost more, in the long run is probably more beneficial to people and their business in the long run. I don't know. I'm rambling. So that's kind of like your typical day of doing things. Is there anything that you do on like a weekly basis or a monthly basis or a rotational thing that you kind of throw in that helps you kind of, you know, because you like to batch work or something like that? Is there anything that you throw in special occasion wise?
Well, definitely at the beginning of every month and the beginning of every week, I, you know, sit down with myself to have my own little accountability meeting and goals. I like to have like, you know, goals and stuff going on for the month and goals going on for the week. I have a group of ladies that we meet together every Monday on Zoom to talk about reselling, you know, our goals for the week. And then we check in with each other on a group chat. Just to, you know, just to keep each other accountable and motivated and things like that. And I'm a real planner person. I have like a paper planner and I have things Trello. On my phone. I have Trello going. I've got multiple computer screens, and one of them is I have the Trello board just open all the time.
Oh,
and I just nice. And I move my stuff from, you know, the different stages of being done, and it's just a really good visual, you know, representation. And you know, I even do that when I'm writing an article. If it's a long article, I have these papers I already have made up that I print out and can like check boxes off, like as far as how many words or how far along in the article I am, because it actually can get monotonous to write, you know, 2,000 word on one topic, and it's nice to have that visual. And I do that with reselling. I do it with everything.
I feel like I do something similar. Like right now I'm really trying to structure, not this because it's an interview, but my recorded like tips videos and stuff. I tried to kind of create more of a template, because like I'll get into the topic and then I'll forget to say like this video. So now I'm like, I write it in. I don't have a script of words that I say, but I have the bullets now. That keeps me on track, because I tend to ramble. For those that watch this channel, you know a thing or two about that. So it's like, if I don't have, and now I'm editing more, so like I like a visual thing that you can kind of go down the line. It's okay, well, if I'm at this point, that means I'm halfway through or whatever. I totally get that. But I've seen you share your computer screen of the Trello, and I tried it and I was into it for like 27 days. I feel like, and then I just couldn't, there was still something missing for me. I don't know what it is, but I have like a notes, like iCloud notes, then the calendar, and then a spreadsheet for date. like every day has its own spreadsheet thing, and each like there's a daily column, a weekly column, and then like the random things column. And this is probably the longest system that I've been able to use, because I'm a serial system hopper for organization.
So am I. And I've actually I've gone back and forth on Trello a lot over the years. Really? I've used it for a few months and then not used it for a year and then used it, and
something keeps reeling you back in.
Something keeps bringing me back to it. I've tried other things, and I think, you know, it's the system that they use is like, I think it's called Kanban. It's like where you have different, it's almost like note
Cards.
cards, and you move them, it's this is a digital version, and you move them from this stack to this stack to this stack. And now they've added a lot of stuff too that helps me because I'm a visual person. And now they've added where you can change cards to different colors to mean different things, or put pictures and stickers in your cards. And I think that makes it even me more likely to use it. And I think that's why I've used it the longest this run.
Okay. I'll have to recheck it out, because I did like a lot of it. I liked you could put the checklists in there, but there was still something, I felt like I was then becoming like a slave to updating it. And that's when I trash the system. Then when I feel like I've created this monster and now I'm a slave to this monster, that it takes me so long to update everything, or I got behind on it. And then I'm like, that's it. Then that means it's not a good system for me, because it should just be whatever is. It's my system. It's not the system owns me.
Yeah. And it depends on what you're using it for. So I've got mine down to like a science. It does not take me very long. And mostly I'm just moving to do items from, a big general list over to what I'm working on right now, over to finished. And that's like mostly.
Right.
And I use for the writing assignments, I use my labels to let me know not only what's due soonest, but also what articles I'm making the most money on.
Oh,
so
that's good.
That also helps me. The deadlines are the deadlines, but at the same time, you can know if I have this,
prioritize.
Yeah, I can prioritize my day as far as what new work I'm accepting based on.
Do you do that with reselling too, since that's already kind of like a skill that you have in a work setting, to say, well, I'm going to list these thrifted items because they're higher end and I can get a better profit than the wholesale stuff because I paid more money for those. I'm going to make less money on those, even though maybe it's less work or something. Like, I'm just kind of curious how you do that.
So what I'm doing right now, the little system of that I'm creating right now, is that I've got, I am keeping in my office will be the stuff that I want to list soonest.
Right.
And I am prioritizing based on the season. If I have something that, I know is going to sell sooner, that doesn't always work out.
Right.
But I have that. And what I've done is exactly what you just said with the wholesale and liquidation stuff. Like, I picked out, 8 pairs of the leggings and a certain amount of the bracelets and things like that, and put them in the bin that I'm going to list those soon. But the rest are going into the unlisted inventory section of my storage.
Right.
So they're not just sitting here in my way all the time, because I'm not going to list them all the time. That stuff that I got from the liquidation company, where I have like 400 of something, my plan was never to sit down and list all 400 of them on the first day. It's just,
you just want it there to just have, that's just great.
My steady stream of that jewelry that's going to be in my
dip
account.
into
Maybe 20 listings of it live at any one time, and I'll replace them as they go.
That's a good idea. That's a good way to look at it, because there's a few of my boutique SKUs that I can't order them anymore. Like, I waited too long to order and they got sold out. And so I haven't wanted to add new SKUs. I've been really focused on building up the thrifting stuff, and then I figure over the summer I'll go back and start adding some more boutique things. But now some of them are getting sold out. I'm like, I really should place an order, but I said I wasn't going to do it till the summer. But I think that's interesting, where you can have it ordered and know you can just dip into it at any time.
Yep.
So I see how that's, I think that there's something to that. I've always just been I've ordered too much bad buys in the past. Like, and then when I created the course, which, I know you've, dipped into, it's like, I've always then kept my ordering more tight, because I'm afraid that that's the bad one. You don't know.
Right. And now the liquidation stuff, I approach it a little bit differently, because it's, and this is when I'm talking about the liquidation stuff, I mean, when I bought 474 bracelets at once, or the leggings, buying the 60 pairs at one time. I bought a big thing of sunglasses too. Nice. I kind of buy that with the intention of, okay, I'm getting this for a low enough cost that even if half of what I get is junk, I'm still going to make a huge profit on this box. And I can also use them for other things like free gifts. I went through the bracelets, and it just so happened that I had like, out of the 400 or whatever, they had like 50 of the exact same
Nice.
bracelet.
Nice.
And it's a cute little bracelet, but I put all those aside as to become free gifts because they weren't very expensive in the grand scheme of things. I think they were like 13 cents a piece. So
yeah.
I can, and that's different from purchasing like wholesale or things where you're buying things for $8 or $12 a piece because you think you can sell it for 40 or,
right.
That's a lot different. So
yes, no, absolutely. Well, and I think too, that's the great thing about boutique is there's so many little categories that you can get into where you can buy something for 13 cents and sell it for whatever you want to, or you can do that. I'm going to buy this swimsuit cover up. I'm going to buy it for 13, but I'm going to sell it for 49, or whatever. So there's a lot of different, different little spots that you can kind of hang your hat on with that. So that's good. Yeah, I definitely want to hear more from you as you go through that, what you think of it. Okay, well, so we've talked about how you fit in the reselling. Obviously, the writing is the main priority, how you fit in the reselling, and then how you fit in the social media, with that. So is there anything else that you want to add that you feel like, because like I said, you've said that you're a planner. I know you're super organized because you always show like you're doing challenges and how your Trello and all of these things. Is there anything else that you want to share with everyone that's watching as far as something that you may have figured out that could be an unlock for them, or just something you want to share?
I think the batching is pretty important for me.
Yeah.
Like it depends on what is your most favorite parts of reselling and what are your least favorite parts.
That's true.
Everyone has a different one. I hate taking pictures. It is my least favorite, and some people love it, but it is my least favorite thing to do.
Okay.
I'm not the best at it. I'm not the fastest at it. And like I said, my office happens to have really bad lighting. I'm doing various things to try to fix that. But so that's my least favorite thing. So when I talk about batching, a lot of times what I'm batching is the photography.
Okay.
And I don't mind editing them. Editing is fine. It's the actual physical taking pictures that I don't like to do. So I will try to batch those, and I will go so far as to even prep the items and categorize them in a way that makes it easier to photograph. So all the shorts are going to be together, all the dresses are going to be together. So I'm like in the dress photography mode,
right?
And I have the right kind of hangers and the right kind of mannequin or the right kind of whatever out, so my batching can be as much like an assembly line.
Hyper specific. Yeah. No, I think that's great. I think, everyone does it differently, and I don't mind taking the photos. So it's funny because you're right. We all have our different things, for sure. And yeah, I think that's where then it kind of like, if you can find a way to master that thing that you really don't like, then the rest of it, you can kind of just, then it's no big deal. Then you get into your flow and just kind of jamming out whatever you need to do. So that's good.
Yeah. And I like having like a whole bin sitting right of nicely folded, already photographed things that are just ready to list. And that way, if I have 10 minutes or 15 minutes in between two activities that I'm doing, I know I can pull out 2 things and 3 things and list them.
Right.
They're already ready to go. I don't have to get out all my photography stuff, start from the scratch. I have a whole pile of stuff that's already ready to go.
Right. I think that's interesting too, because for me, that's how I feel about photographing, because I do have it all set up. Like my lights are here. I just have to turn them on. Everything's already, I always have things here. And so I could, while, I just made Gio a snack, I could come in, take photographs of 2 items, turn off the lights and go back. And, now we're on to the next dinosaur or Star Wars related activity, because that's pretty much all there is in my life. Right. That's all we do. But yeah, I mean, I think whatever you have set yourself up for it to be easiest, like, if you have it here and it's folded, it's ready, then it's easy for you to list. But when you go to do the photographs, you have to do this whole big mamma jamma. So I think that's interesting. I think that's really interesting. I love doing these conversations. All right. Well, anything else to add before we let everybody go?
I
let everybody that, that are out there in the interweb.
Out there
Nobody
in the
here
world.
right now. Well, thank you, Deanna, for being with me. I really appreciate it. I love talking with everybody, and it was good to chat with you again and just kind of learn a little bit more, because everybody brings something new to it. And I think people could get a lot out of the way that you organize, and, you know, the fact that you have this deadline-based writing thing. I think there's a lot that you could apply from that elsewhere. So I hope everyone got some good nuggets out of this. I thank you for being here. I thank everyone for watching, and hopefully you will go ahead and no, not subscribe, follow Deanna. It's deanna.online on Instagram, and subscribe here if you aren't already. And I will see you in the next video. Bye.